4. Roger Ailes, who created this channel, once said Fox News Channel was set up for a, quote, niche audience. It just so happens the niche was half of the country who felt they were being underserved by the media. Ailes died this morning at 77 years old. His legacy lives on here at Fox. We take a look back. He's being remembered as someone, the man who created this channel, the man who's being remembered tonight as tough but brilliant strategist and television pioneer, a career that ended here, however, in controversy. Senior political analyst Britt Hume worked with Ailes from the beginning of this channel. He takes a look back tonight.
Good morning. My name is Roger Ailes. I'm chairman of Fox News Channel.
And so it began 21 years ago amid widespread predictions that it would inevitably fail. But for Roger Ailes, failure was never an option. From simple beginnings as the son of a shop foreman in Warren, Ohio, Roger Eugene Ailes found his way up. By age 25, he was executive producer of the highly successful Mike Douglas daytime TV show. That's Roger in the baseball cap to the left of Douglas. One guest on that show was Richard Nixon, who was so taken with the young Ailes that he hired him for his 1968 presidential campaign.
He understood the value of television after losing the 1960 election to Jack Kennedy, so he took cues very well.
Nixon's election started Ailes on a broader career as a media and political consultant. In 1984, he advised Ronald Reagan after Reagan lost the first presidential debate to Walter Mondale, which had raised doubts about Reagan's age. Ailes' advice led to this.
I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience.
Mondale's hopes of an upset died amid the laughter. 4 years later, Ailes coached Vice President George H.W. Bush in his successful campaign to succeed Reagan. President Bush 41 tweeted this about Ailes today, quote, "He wasn't perfect, but Roger Ailes was my friend and I loved him. Not sure I would have been president without his great talent, loyal help. Rest in peace." After a successful stint as head of CNBC, and after launching the channel that was later to become MSNBC, News Corporation Chief Rupert Murdoch tapped Ailes to start the Fox News Channel in 1996. It was a huge gamble.
When I had to launch Fox News and we had no studios, control rooms, stars, programs, or anything else, but we did have an idea, and we knew there was an audience.
Critics scoffed. This was Bill Carter of the New York Times, quote, "Given the current state of Fox News as described by some insiders, it may be less a toy than an imaginary friend." It took a few years to build it, but the audience did come, and before long, there were cameras, studios, control rooms, and yes, stars. Sean Hannity, Shepard Smith, Bill O'Reilly, Megyn Kelly, Neil Cavuto, Brett Baier, and more recently, Martha McCallum and the ensemble cast of The Five. Not to mention the morning hosts, Steve Doocy, Brian Kilmeade, and now Ainsley Earhart, Bill Hemmer, and lately Shannon Bream. The evening shows were built on the views that they're mostly conservative hosts, but plenty of Democrats and liberals have found a home at Fox as well, including Geraldo Rivera, Juan Williams, the late Alan Combs, Bob Beckel, Leslie Marshall, Mo Alethe, and Doug Schoen. Ailes was a conservative, but those responsible for news coverage under him were encouraged to play it straight, as on the eve of the 2000 election when George W. Bush was found to have had a previous driving under the influence conviction.
Roger's interest went this far. Is it right? Are we sure that the source is good? And are we sure that all the facts are accurate? And after that, there was never a moment's hesitation. There was never any discussion about whether we should do this story or not, even though it had the potential to derail Bush's candidacy.
Fox News' ratings climbed, helped by coverage of the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal, the Florida election recount, and by coverage of the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks. By the end of that, Fox News became #1 in cable news and has remained so ever since. For all its success, there has always been a scrappy underdog atmosphere at Fox News and a sense that the work here is a privilege to be enjoyed.
I tell people, if you're not having any fun, go home. Go home. You're irritating me.
Roger never forgot where he came from, where his uncanny feel for the audience may have come from also.
How would you describe yourself?
Just a guy from Ohio who started out digging ditches and worked his way up and got lucky. And I had an opportunity to go into television as a as a gopher, which is go for this, go for that, be a production assistant, and opportunities presented themselves. I think I rose to the challenge in most of the time, and was able to create a career out of it.
And what a career. But last summer it came crashing down amid allegations that Ailes had made repeated unwanted sexual advances toward numerous women who work for him at Fox News. He denied the allegations, but was forced to resign amid the resulting scandal. The accusations came as a shock to nearly all at Fox News, who remembered him today for his talent, his leadership, his humor, and his personal kindness.
Changing the trajectory of their life, the path of their life, seeing something in other people that they didn't even see in themselves. And he's so sorely missed. He was there for me when I went through some really hard times. Janice, are you okay? You want to say anything to that?
No, I wouldn't be here without that man. And when I was diagnosed with MS, he got on the phone and said, whatever we can do for your family, because we were all part of a family. And, you know, he was a presence, and he will be missed on this channel. He will be missed.
Roger's death this morning was announced by his wife, Beth, who described herself as profoundly sad and heartbroken. He suffered from hemophilia and took a fall in the bathroom of his home in Palm Beach, Florida, which caused bleeding in his brain. He is survived also by his 17-year-old son, Zachary. Brett?
You know, all those years, he said so many things to all of us. He used to say negative people make positive people sick. He used to fire us up. I know the man that we knew for all those years was not the man at the end of his career that ended in controversy. When he hired me some 20 years ago, my experience was always one where he was just like Janice Dean there, the first to reach out. He's right. The first person who called each time my son had an open heart surgery.
Right. And when my son died all those years ago, Roger, who had a very bad ankle and had trouble getting around, got on an airplane. He came down here. He was at my side. He was as supportive to me at that time as anybody was. I'll never forget it.
We'll always remember him. Britt, thank you for doing this today. Our sincere condolences to his wife, Beth, his son, Zach. Roger, we're signing off for you for the last time on Fox News Channel. Rest in peace.